From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. Deliriously happy fans jammed Rogers Place in Edmonton while thousands more partied outside, chanting "We want the Cup," as the hometown Oilers stunned the Florida Panthers 5-1 to force Game 7. 16-year-old McKenna Goldberg, in an orange Oilers shirt, says she's been at the plaza with friends for the last 2 games.
We kind of just have a really good community and we're all just cheering. It's all really fun. It's enjoyable. I like to be here.
Now, the celebration has been going on for 2 months in Edmonton, a city that has 5 Stanley Cups but has not won since 1990. If they beat the Panthers on Monday in Sunrise, Florida, they will become the first Canadian team since the Montreal Canadiens back in 1993 to bring the cup back across the border. A change of the guard is happening today in Alberta politics. The province's NDP is selecting a new leader after former head Rachel Notley bid goodbye last night. Speaking to delegates ahead of today's vote, Notley offered some simple advice to whoever takes her place. Be yourself. The frontrunner in today's contest is former Calgary Mayor Naheed Nenshi, but he has also sparked concern by some in the party as an opportunistic Johnny-come-lately with political leanings more in line with Liberal Red than NDP Orange. The Prime Minister announced 2 multi-million-dollar agreements with Nova Scotia's Mi'kmaq. Justin Trudeau's Friday announcement coincided with National Indigenous Peoples Day, which celebrates the heritage and strength of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis across Canada. One proposed agreement for $125 million with a First Nation in Cape Breton is to settle a dispute over reserve land sold back in 1862. The other is for $16 million in annual funding aimed at helping 12 of Nova Scotia's 13 Mi'kmaq communities repair, replace, and maintain education infrastructure. Overseas, Russia has targeted energy facilities and critical infrastructure in Ukraine with 16 missiles and 13 Shahad drones as part of an overnight attack. Officials in Kyiv say the energy facilities in the country's southeast and west were damaged and at least 2 energy workers were injured. However, the country's Air Force says they managed to intercept 12 of the 16 missiles and all 13 drones. And finally, after a night in the wilderness, search and rescue teams in the Sierra Nevada found a little boy who disappeared while in the mountains with his family.
When rescuers in the mountains of Fresno County walked out of the woods with 4-year-old Christian Ramirez, his emotional parents waited to be reunited. Christian wandered away and got lost while the family from the L.A. area was camping. Lieutenant Brandon Purcell is with the Fresno County Sheriff's Office.
He was found about a quarter-mile away. He was not in the campground any longer. He was out in the wooded area.
He says Christian was tired and hungry, but otherwise he was okay after being alone in the wilderness all night. Alex Stone, EBC News.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Edmonton Oilers have clawed their way back to Stanley Cup contention, posting a Friday night 5-1 Game 6 victory over the Florida Panthers. That means the do-or-die Game 7 is set for Monday in Florida. Vernon Adams Jr. threw a pair of touchdown passes to Alexander Hollins in a 26-24 BC Lions victory that kept the Winnipeg Blue Bombers winless the season so far. Winnipeg has lost its first 3 games for the first time since 2012. Onto the hard court, where WNBA sensation Caitlin Clark had 16 points and 7 assists as the Indiana Fever beat the Atlanta Dream 91-79 in front of a record-breaking 17,575 fans at State Farm Arena. And finally, the Toronto Blue Jays pitchers could not find the strike zone as the Cleveland Guardians downed the Jays 7-1. The Guardians scored 7 runs in the second inning. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.